Yeah. Hey, welcome back to week 2. And yes, it's Wednesday morning. And welcome back to Growing Beyond with Jason Roshek and Partners, or JRP. So today's episode, we're going to cover a lot of different stuff. Last week, you got to meet the team. Hope you liked that part. But we're going to work on some neighborhoods, just so you know that. What makes a good neighborhood, what makes a bad neighborhood. But I want to lead off with, it's a Denver Bronco bye week here. And so what that means is we're still in first place, Denver Bronco fans. Yes, we have beat the Chefs. Yes, we won a bye weekend. We scored more points on this bye weekend than we did last weekend, I think. Just kidding, that's a bad joke. Sean Payton, offensive coordinator, someone in your ear saying run the ball. And then run the ball. So, yeah, you can hook that up at Denver Broncos. Check that in. Put that in the follow, chat, whatever. I don't care. He needs an offensive coordinator. I know he's a genius, but even geniuses need help. So, we got that out of the way. And then, next week we're going to be talking about some Christmas stuff, I think, on that one. So, just be ready for that part. So, let's talk some neighborhoods. Let's start in the big picture of Colorado. Colorado, it's safe. There are some bad neighborhoods, like 5 Points, maybe in Denver. That's gotten better. Maybe in the south side of the Springs, there's some bad spots. But even then, you're next to an airport. You're next to the military base. You got a lot of protection. So then some things that I truly believe is there is Front Range people, there are mountain people, and then there's the west side of Colorado. So the western slope, those people don't probably get enough love out there in Montrose, Durango, Grand Junction, Craig, all those people. They're a big part of Colorado, just so you know that. And there are some really, really cool areas out there. Like one of my favorite areas is Palisade. They have peaches, they've got wines, they've got beers. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you get the opportunity to go out there, I-70, make sure you have some gas in your car because you could get stuck on I-70. So let's go on to the mountains. Everyone knows about Vail, Breckenridge, Beaver Creek, whatever. Let me tell you about some towns in the mountains that are a little bit better. Salida, great place. Buena Vista, great place. You got Monarch down there. Just outside of Breckenridge, you got Keystone, good skiing up there. So just those are some hidden spots. Loveland is more the Front Range. Loveland is Loveland ski, not Loveland. Just so you know that's off of 70 also. So you got those little bit of mountain towns in there. Down in the far south, you have the Great Sand Dunes, just so you know that. Alamosa. Did you know Alamosa can be the hottest place in a year, and it can also be the coldest place? It is freezing down there. But there's one time of the year on the sand dunes, I think water starts coming out of the sand. Is that right? Have you ever been there for that, Danielle?
No, never been there.
Never been there. My kids have, and I heard it's awesome, but it was hot. The sand was hot. So that's sort of the really good place right there in the middle of the mountains there. And then the Front Range. So we're going to start first up north. You got Fort Collins, CSU, bad football program up there. Nice little campus, lots of breweries, good place. Greeley, Colorado. Go west, young man. Horse should have kept going west. That's all I'm going to say. It's a smelly town. You got a lot of cattle yards out there. You got Fart Morgan. Some people call it Fort Morgan. I'm going to call it Fart Morgan. It smells really bad out there. Sterling, I think there's a prison out there, just so you know that. Then heading down south, you've got Denver and Boulder and Longmont up in there. And there's some really cool places, buildings, growth, lots going on up there. And then I-25, as you keep coming down, you get into Denver. We got to recognize Mile High Stadium. And in 5 years, we're going to have a new stadium. Looking forward to that. Retractable roof. It's going to be amazing. We'll have a Super Bowl allegedly, so look forward to those things. Plus, it'll be downtown next to, what's it called now? Ball Arena. I think it's Ball Arena where the Nuggets and the Avs play. So really excited about that down there. Keep going south, Castle Rock. Castle Rock's a really cool little town. There's some good golf courses. There's some private golf courses that I've not got to play yet. So if you want at Remax, is Remax still even open yet?
I don't think it is.
Okay, all right, good to know. I don't know that answer. But I'm a Coldwell banker, by the way. But love some of those guys up there. If it's still open, I'd love to go play that golf course up there. Then you head down to the Springs. And what you need to know about Colorado Springs, there are 5 military bases. So let's start with the Air Force Academy. You've got Schriever. You've got Fort Carson. You've got then Peterson, thank you. I always forget Peterson. And then you have NORAD, or Space Command. So I don't know if they call that 5-6, because Space Command's out in the flats and then NORAD's in the mountain. Really cool. I've been there. I've seen the duck floating on the water. Did you know there was a duck inside on a pond?
No.
Yeah, really fun stuff. Really good stuff. It does not look like war games, just so you know. So if you want to play a game, that's a movie, then yeah, it's fun to go to NORAD if you get that opportunity. Then you go down, we're going to keep going south, and there's a town called Pueblo. We're going to keep going past that. Then there's, because that's all you need to know. Then you got Raton and Trinidad down there at the base of the southern border of Colorado. Yeah, we're going to skip them too. There is a pass actually in Raton. Just make sure that you can get over that. It's not that bad of a pass. It's nothing like Vail or Beaver Creek or any of those big ones up there. But it's just a little bit windier down there, I think, and that's what causes the problems. So that's sort of the whole thing there in the mountains. And then we got the east. I didn't really talk about the east. I talked about Greeley, but that was too much talking about Greeley. Then you got Lyman. And I think that's the funniest town ever, because it's like 70 comes in and then 24 comes in, and I think it's 96 or 69 or I don't know, because you're going to get screwed out there. That's why it's 69 maybe. I don't know that answer. That's really bad. Probably shouldn't say that, but there's some really great people that live out there, but it's flat. We call that Western Kansas. We just sort of give it to Kansas on that. So just so you know that. But then you keep going south. You got Yugo. Love Yugo. There's a great, I think, saddle shop down there. Daryl Waite, if you need anything for a saddle, he makes all those. And then you keep going down there, Springfield. And no, Bart does not live in Springfield down there. So that's sort of the generalization of Colorado. Let's go back to Colorado Springs, because that's the area I work. You've got Falcon Payton out on 24 in Woodman, out in that way on the east side. Lots of homes, close, really big homes, really good value. And it's not a bad place. They've almost got everything now. They got a Walmart. I think the only thing they're really missing is a Tractor Supply, maybe. They need some more restaurants. So yeah, there you go on that. As you come into town, you got, I'm going to call it the Powers Corridor. The best thing about the Powers Corridor is sort of like I-25. You just can't wait to get out of there. Houses are even tighter. Lots of good venues. There's movie theaters, restaurants, lots of good stuff, but it's really, really tight. It's good affordable housing, and you can get to things really quick. That is the benefit. It's about ABC, always be convenient on that one, or location if you're over 100 years old. Then as you keep moving to the west, I'm going to call it the really Colorado Springs Academy area, Academy Boulevard, or some people call it a Kid Hit Me, because there used to be a lot of drag racing and things down there. Those are really bigger lots, lots of nice little homes in there. So that's I like that area. As you keep moving to the west, get to I-25, you're going to run into Colorado College. So when you're doing that, There's some really nicer homes, bigger homes. That's the north end. You're going to have a ton of, they're $1 million homes, but they're 1890s, and you're going to have some work, just so you know that. Then you get to the west side. The west siders are different. That's all you need to know. West siders, they think they're the best ciders. And then we're not talking cider like a beer, but west side, that's where our office is, down on Colorado and 27th. There are plenty of restaurants. That's why I started having to work out, because I was eating too much. So really small homes again. The start of Colorado Springs. You get the head up towards the west a little bit more, and you get Manitou. Manitou, I love showing homes in Manitou. So Manitou, you go up a hill like this, and then your house is like on a postage stamp like that, and it's probably a little bit older. There are some newer homes, and then people look and like, why would I live here? I fall down the hill. Yeah. Then you're not really a West Sider. You're not ready for Manitou, so you should go back out towards Lyman, probably. But that's a bad joke. Then, as you keep going up, you got the Green Mountain Falls, Chipeta Park. You've got Cascade. Nice little mountain town. Just be aware of septics. We can talk about that another time. Is that all right on that one? And then we get Woodland Park, Divide, Florissant. Woodland Park has the best view of Pikes Peak. It really should be Woodland Park's mountain, not America's mountain, but we'll share it with you guys just so you know that. Pikes Peak's a beautiful place. First time I was ever there, I was 37 years old. And I lived here my whole life. Do you believe that? No. I know, yeah. Have you been to the top?
Of course I have. Several times.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's it on that one. So, Woodland Park is a smaller town, a bedroom community still, because we don't make anything up here. And most people will either be retired, work from home, make sure you have internet, and then, because internet can be, and cell coverage can be really tough up here in the mountains. Or then you got people that are going to drive to Colorado Springs. As you keep going out 24, there's more land. You're going to get more land, and you're going to see different kinds of homes. So that's sort of the generalization. One of the things that I want to talk about that I think is stupid. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. All right. Donald Trump, your 50-year mortgage, you're a ding-dong. So, and the reason I'm going to say that, I'm saying it straight out now, because Danielle, how old are you? You're like just under 30 years old, we'll say that. So if she did a 50-year mortgage, she'd be almost 80 years old. And let's say you bought the average or median price, it's really close, about the same, $500,000 loan. You put down 20%. Did you know your payment would be $2,334 and some change? That's if it's at 5.75%. Meanwhile, you would have, did you know you would have total, if you stayed in the home for 30 years, you'd pay a total of interest, just interest. I think it's $840,000.
All right, hold on. I got to come back at you on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think nobody's staying in a home for 30 years or 50 years, but your payment's going to be lower on a 50-year mortgage.
Okay, let's talk about the 50-year mortgage. 50-year mortgage, let's say $500,000 again, and then you get 5.75. Yes, you'll be paying $2,032 a month and some change.
Okay.
All right. Overall, if you did live there for 50 years, again, which you're
That'd
saying
be asinine.
You're not going to, but you would pay $1.22 million of interest. That's crazy. That's a shitload.
Yeah.
Sorry. that's a boatload. That's a load. So again, let's go with that. Let's say.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how many people are actually staying in their home 30 years?
Okay. So the average person lives in their home for about 3.5 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's use the math on that. Yeah. All right. So what do you think? I'm going to grab my phone here just to make sure we got the interest on the permit or per month. So per month, your interest is about $2,000 on a 50-year note. So every time you make a payment, so let's say you bought a home for $500,000, $200, maybe $300 is going to the principal,
Right.
right, on a 50-year note.
Okay.
Let's say you live there for 3 years.
Yeah.
We'll do some bad math. We'll go $2,500 for easy year.
Right.
You live there 3, that's $7,500.
Okay.
So now your mortgage, we said was $400,000. So now you're at $392,500.
Over the 5 years that I live here.
3 years.
Okay.
3 years.
Yeah. So I guess, is there a benefit though if you're going to be paying less per month?
So you sell the home. How much money are you going to make? Not enough. You got to pay me to sell your home, and I'm worth every penny. And then we have to probably give some compensation to the buyer agent. Then you're going to have to pay the title company, and we're going to have the title company people come in a little bit, explain some of that. But you end up paying. Let's say you sell it for $525.
Okay.
All right. So it's about, a good number is like 8% for $40,000. You're losing $30,000, $20,000.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So
don't go with a 50-year mortgage.
no, don't go with a 40-year. Don't go with a 30-year.
I have a 30-year.
But you've lived in your home also how long now? 5 years? 6
4
years?
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So you're gonna plan on living there for.
I don't know how much longer. We don't have to talk. That's a different episode.
That's because you have kids, too many kids. So let's go with. So let's say you live there 5 years and you're on a 30-year mortgage. At least you're gonna pay down more principal.
Yeah.
And so you have an opportunity to make money.
Okay.
A home is not an investment. A home is where you live and raise your family.
All right.
It can be an investment, but it's meant to have a roof.
Be a home.
Yeah,
It's
be
not
a
a
home.
house, it's a home.
Yep. So, all right. So I just had to get that off my chest because I keep hearing people talk about this 50-year mortgage, and I think it's horrible on that one. So anything else that you want to talk about? Any other things?
Nope, I think that does it for us today.
All right. So next week is going to be week 3. So make sure you like, subscribe us at Jason Roshek and Partners. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Are we on TikTok yet? No, that's good. I don't want the Chinese to know what I'm thinking. Then, can I say that? All right, good. And then we will be back next week, and it's going to be about Christmas. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got some takes on that one. When you should put your Christmas tree up.